The hip-hop community is in mourning following the heartbreaking news that rapper Lil Poppa has died at just 25 years old. The rising artist, whose raw storytelling and emotional vulnerability made him a standout voice in modern rap, leaves behind a legacy that many believe was only just beginning. Born Janarius Mikel Wheeler in Jacksonville, Florida, Lil Poppa emerged from one of the South's most competitive rap scenes with a sound that felt both deeply personal and universally relatable. His passing has sent shockwaves through fans, collaborators, and fellow artists who saw him as one of the most promising talents of his generation. A voice from Jacksonville. Jacksonville has long been a breeding ground for gritty, street-rooted rap music, and Lil Poppa proudly represented his hometown. He often spoke about growing up surrounded by hardship, violence, and economic struggle, themes that would later define his music. Unlike many of his contemporaries, Poppa's delivery wasn't built on braggadocio alone. His lyrics carried the weight of lived experience. He rapped about trauma, loss, loyalty, and survival with a vulnerability that resonated with listeners navigating similar battles. His authenticity earned him a fiercely loyal fanbase that grew steadily over the years. Poppa began releasing music as a teenager, slowly building buzz through mixtapes and social media platforms. His breakthrough came when listeners began sharing his emotionally charged tracks online, praising his introspective writing style. Breakthrough and rise to fame. Lil Poppa's career trajectory took a significant leap when he signed with Interscope Records, a major milestone that positioned him on a larger national stage. The deal signaled industry confidence in his artistry and opened doors to higher-profile collaborations and broader distribution. His debut studio album, Under Investigation *, showcased his storytelling ability and emotional range. But it was his 2021 project, Blessed, that solidified his status as a rising star. The album explored themes of survivors' guilt, ambition, and internal conflict, striking a chord with fans who felt seen through his music. One of his most well-known songs, Love and War, became an anthem among supporters who admired his willingness to speak openly about mental health and emotional pain. In an era where vulnerability in rap has become increasingly embraced, Lil Poppa stood at the forefront of that shift. An artist unafraid of honesty. Lil Poppa frequently discussed the emotional toll of fame and the lingering trauma from his upbringing. He didn't shy away from talking about depression, anxiety, and the pressure to provide for loved ones. That honesty made him more than just another rapper, it made him relatable. In interviews, he often expressed gratitude for the platform he had built. He saw music not just as a career, but as therapy. His ability to translate pain into poetry distinguished him in a crowded field. Many fans have taken to social media since the news broke, sharing lyrics that now feel especially poignant. Lines about struggling to stay strong or fearing an untimely end are circulating widely, underscoring the tragic irony of his passing at such a young age. The hip-hop community reacts. Tributes from across the industry have poured in. Fellow rappers, producers, and influencers have shared heartfelt messages, remembering Poppa as both a talented artist and a kind-hearted individual behind the scenes. Artists from Florida's rap scene have been particularly vocal, highlighting how he uplifted others and remained humble despite his success. Some collaborators described him as soft-spoken but intensely focused when it came to his craft. The news has also reignited broader conversations about the pressures young rappers face, from mental health struggles to the dangers associated with street violence. Lil Poppa's passing serves as yet another painful reminder of how fragile life can be, especially in a genre that often intersects with real-world hardship. A career that was just getting started. At only 25, Lil Poppa had already accomplished what many artists spend decades chasing. But by most accounts, he was just entering his prime. Industry insiders believed he was on the verge of even bigger mainstream breakthroughs. His fanbase had grown beyond regional boundaries. Streaming numbers were climbing steadily, and critics were beginning to place him in conversations about the most emotionally compelling rappers of his era. There was a sense that his next project would elevate him to an entirely new tier of recognition. Tragically, that chapter will never unfold. Fans remember the music. In the hours following confirmation of his death, streaming platforms saw a surge in plays of his catalog. Fans revisited favorite tracks, posted concert clips, and shared personal stories about how his songs helped them through dark times. For many young listeners, Lil Poppa's music served as a lifeline, proof that someone else understood their struggles. His authenticity created a bond that extended beyond entertainment. Memorial gatherings are already being organized in Jacksonville, where supporters plan to celebrate his life and legacy. Candles, flowers, and handwritten notes have reportedly been placed at locations meaningful to the rapper's journey. The broader impact on hip-hop. Lil Poppa's death adds to a long and heartbreaking list of young hip-hop artists lost too soon. Over the past decade, the genre has repeatedly grappled with tragedy, from violence to health crises to mental health struggles. Each loss sparks reflection about how the industry supports its young stars. The conversation often centers on whether more can be done to protect artists navigating sudden fame, financial pressure, and unresolved trauma. Poppa's music frequently touched on these themes, making his passing feel particularly devastating. He rapped about trying to escape the cycle of violence and build a better future. That dream resonated widely. A legacy of vulnerability and strength. While his life was cut short, Lil Poppa's influence will likely endure. His catalog stands as a testament to resilience and emotional honesty. In a genre sometimes criticized for glorifying toughness at the expense of vulnerability, Poppa helped redefine what strength looks like. He proved that sharing pain can be powerful. That admitting fear or sadness does not diminish masculinity. That storytelling rooted in truth can change lives. For aspiring artists, his journey serves as both inspiration and caution, a reminder to cherish life and seek support when needed. The questions that remain. As of now, details surrounding his death remain limited. Authorities have not released comprehensive information, and speculation continues to circulate online. Fans and family alike are asking for privacy during this unimaginable time. What remains clear is the magnitude of the loss. At 25, Lil Poppa had decades of potential ahead of him. His passing leaves a void not just in Jacksonville's rap scene, but in the broader hip-hop landscape. Remembering Janarius Mikel Wheeler. Beyond the stage name and streaming numbers was a young man described by those close to him as loyal, family-oriented, and deeply reflective. He often spoke about wanting to break generational cycles and provide opportunities for his loved ones. That mission drove much of his work ethic. Friends say he spent countless hours in the studio, perfecting verses and refining his sound. Success never seemed to inflate his ego. In the end, perhaps the most powerful tribute lies in the music itself. Songs that once felt like confessions now feel like echoes, reminders of a voice that captured raw emotion in a way few others could. An unfinished story. Lil Poppa's story is one of talent, perseverance, and tragic loss. He rose from adversity to carve out a space in a competitive industry. He connected with fans not through spectacle, but through sincerity. At 25, his journey feels heartbreakingly unfinished. Yet his impact is undeniable. As fans replay his songs and reflect on his words, one thing becomes certain: Lil Poppa may be gone, but the emotions he poured into his music will continue to resonate for years to come. In the ever-evolving narrative of hip-hop, his chapter will remain a poignant reminder of brilliance cut short, and of the profound power of truth in art.